Hello, my name's Kev F and I'm running down my TV of the year 2024. Here comes the top 30. At number 30, I've got three things in the top 30 tying. At number 30, Inside Number 9, Series 9, Colin from Accounts, Series 2, and Only Murders in the Building, Series 4. I did a sequel zone, which you'll have seen on a previous video, where things that had subsequent series were in there. But these three were so good that they deserve to get into the charts properly. Inside Number 9 first appeared in my chart in 2014. It got to number 6 in my top TV of the year that year. It was brilliant, and it stayed brilliant ever since, so it's justified that number 9 makes its mark. Colin from Accounts season 2 was just as strong as season 1. It was number 3 in last year's chart. I'm sure you were paying attention. And Only Murders in the Building is maintaining a high standard. Season 3 made last year's top 10, only one place lower than season 1 did in 2021. Oh God, what have I become? I'm sorry. I do realise the quality of the show and its content is more important than how high or low it's come in my makey-uppy chart. I've turned into some sort of hybrid of Nick Hornby in Fever Pitch and Brucey in Play Your Cards Right. I can only apologise. Let's move on to number 29 in my chart. Boy Bands Forever. It's only a little 3-part documentary, but it was a brilliant one. Boy bands of the 90s, turns out, were exploited and had a hard time. At number 28, True Detective Night Country and Joan. I've squeezed 2 in together just because I thought it was good to have 30 in the charts and not 35, which is what it obviously has turned out to be. One of them was only a silly little police procedural, but it was a cut above and definitely the coldest feeling show of the year. That's True Detective Night Country. And Joan was a possibly based on a true story crime adventure, had some nice acting in it. 27, Mary and George. It was a period drama, silly historical thing based on real life. It's like Wolf Hall, but without the longers, which autocorrect kept insisting on changing to loungers when I wrote this script. Number 26, Rebus. This was on at the same time as The Responder season 2, but it was way better than that. Because I did that sequel zone, it's ended up higher in my charts apparently, but you don't care about that. Anyway, Rebus wasn't bad, although it's clear that the books by Ian Rankin were written 25 years ago or more, and some things had dated. Number 25 in my chart is Borders. If you didn't see Borders, check it out. It's a low-key, slightly young adult-skewed show. It worked wonderfully. City kids with places in a posh school, and it's filmed in Bristol, so we got to play Spot the Locations. At number 24, Douglas is cancelled. ITV only makes 2 showings in my chart this year. It's likely they're the only TV shows on ITV that I watched this year. Stephen Moffat had written this Douglas is cancelled as a stage play, and I think it might have worked better that way. But it really was making the effort. Number 23, Time Bandits. The budget was all up there on the screen, and this probably has the most memorable special effects of the year. Underneath, it was really just a kids' series, not unlike the stuff I used to watch on ITV as a child. Most outstanding contribution comes from the brilliant child actor with the best name of the year, Kal-El Tuck. Number 22. Oh, I've got 2 more tying at number 22. Bad Monkey on Apple TV and Black Doves on Netflix. Bad Monkey was another crime procedural and another book adaptation, adapted this time from Carl Hiaasen, whose name I've heard a load, but I've never read anything by him. I don't think I've seen anything adapted by him on TV before. It had the best sense of humour of any of this year's new crime shows, I think. It was a bit overextended. It didn't merit the number of episodes they made it run to. Black Doves, which was a late squeeze into the list, it suffered from comparisons with Slow Horses, which is a shame because it's an attempt to balance believable romances, romantic storylines. It's all about the people who are trapped in these relationships with people, and then there's lots of banging and shooting with guns. Because it was set at Christmas and released just before Christmas, and everybody will have box setted it in the Christmas period, it means it'll end up in nobody's TV of the year, which is a bit of a shame. At number 21, Night Sleeper. Night Sleeper was a BBC series that took an awful lot of stick, not because the company that made it, Euston Films, who used to make The Sweeney 50 years ago, went tits up just after they'd made it, which was very unfortunate. This show, though, was nothing to do with that. Had the best lineup of Scottish actors in anything this year. At times it illustrated how difficult it is to do action effects when you don't have a Disney budget, but all the more respect to it for trying. Coming up next, number 20 to number 11.